everyone, it's Dawn Marie with Custom Comfy Crochet, and today I'm here. I usually don't get on Sundays, so happy Sunday, but I wanted to get on because I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. We've got some sickness going around the house, and so I wanted to go ahead and get a video done before it got any worse. Excuse me, before it got any worse. So yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and do this since I may not be on for the next few days. And just as a precursor, like I always say, I am on Facebook Live. So if you see this later on YouTube, which you will, I am not talking to myself if you hear me talking to anyone, which no one may be on because they may all be still in church. Okay. So, if you're on Facebook or YouTube, you're going to see the thumbnail or you're going to see the picture below on Facebook of the flower border. And what it is I'm going to show you how to make the flower and the leaves. And then you make a border just like we did for our hearts. And then you can hang them up. And I have them hanging in my living room, which is the picture you see. And it just turned out really beautiful. This is my pattern. And I am going to say, please, if you end up selling or making or liking or sharing or doing something with my pattern, please just give me a shout out. I really appreciate it because I've seen some stuff and they're not doing that, so I'm excited that people are doing that, but just please give me a shout out. I really appreciate it. So just to let you know what we're going to need today, we are going to need, oh, and my nails, oh my god, my nails, they started breaking. A couple of them broke, so I just cut them all off so they look horrible, so please forgive me. But you're going to need a 10mm hook, and you're also going to need a 5mm hook. Okay, so that would be a size N or a size H as well. Okay, because we are going to be using some chunky yarn. This chunky yarn is Bernay, and I got it from Michael's. So I don't remember the color, but you can kind of tell what it looks like here. So this is what you'd be looking for. If you want to use the exact color I'm using, you don't. But if you want to get the effect, you really do need a chunky yarn. So you can use any color that you want. Then I'm using this variegated yarn from Hobby Lobby. It's just a variegated green. Yeah, I found this at Hobby Lobby. So these are the two colors we're using. And then you're going to need scissors and a darning needle, just like we always need. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make the flower. And we're going to do a slip knot, and then we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then you're going to slip stitch into the first chain from the hook. Okay? Then you're going to chain 3. And then you're going to put 13 double crochets into the circle. Counting the chain of 3 will be 14. So I'm just going to count this chain of 3 as 1. And then I'm going to go right into the circle and start my double crochets. So there's 2. There's 3. There's 4. 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, and I'm just working over my little scraggly piece. 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Okay, so we've got our 14. So I'm just going to pull that middle string as tight as I can. Okay, then I'm going to slip stitch into the third chain of my first chain of 3 right up top there. I'm going to slip stitch right into there. Okay, then we're going to chain 3. And we're going to put another double crochet right into that same space. And then we're going to put 2 double crochets in each stitch around for a count of 28. So that first chain of 3 counted as 1, and then we put another one, so that's 2, and then we just did 2, so that's 4. So there's 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10, 11 and 12, 13 and 14, 15 and 16, 17 and 18, 19 and 20, 21 and 22, 3 and 24, 25 and 26, and then 27 and 28. So now we're done with our increases all the way around. So we're going to slip stitch into the top of our chain of 3. Okay. And now we're going to cut off our yarn because we're going to bring in our chunky yarn now. So let's just cut that off right here. And pull it in. Okay, so we've got the middle of our flower done. And I don't want you to work any ends in yet. We worked this in as we went along, but remember, like I told you before, I really like to work those in a little bit more. But we're just going to leave those alone right now, because if we work those in right now, we're going to have trouble going into our post. So we're going to wait till we're done. So don't work in your ends yet, okay? So now we're going to bring in our chunky yarn, and now we're going to move to our 10mm hook. This is going to seem strange, but I promise you it's going to turn out really pretty, okay? So right where I tied off my yarn, I'm going to go right around that post right there, okay? So I'm putting my hook right behind that post, and I'm going to bring in my color just like this. So I'm not working on the top, I'm working around the post. And now I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. That counts as our first double crochet. Then we're going to skip this next one, this next post, double crochet, and then go around the next one for a double crochet. So we're just going to skip this one and then go around this post just like this. Okay, Sammy. Okay, so we're going to work a double crochet, and then we're going to skip the next post, and then go into the next one and work another double crochet. Just like that. Okay, and we're going to keep doing that all the way around. So again, we're skipping the next post and then going into the next one for a double crochet, then skip the next post, go into the next, do another double crochet, and just do that all the way around. And it will be a little hard to get this big hook through there. And also, if you don't have a 10mm hook, you can use a little bit smaller. Also, if you don't have chunky yarn, you can use regular yarn for this. It doesn't matter. I just wanted to use up this chunky yarn, and I think it looks prettier with the chunky yarn. So that's what the pattern, my pattern calls for, but you can do whatever you want to do. So again, just making sure that I skip one, going around my posts. And this will start to turn a little, that's okay. And when you get done, you should have 14 double crochets. Okay, so we're skipping this one. This will be our last one. Going around that. Okay, and then you will have one more to skip at the end, and then you will slip stitch into the top of your chain 3. Okay, now this is turning, as you can see. It's definitely turning. That's okay. It will flatten out. But let's just count and make sure we have 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so we have 14. So we're just going to slip stitch right into the top of our chain 3 right here. Okay. And this yarn is so soft and fun to work with. Okay. So now, I'm just going to tighten that middle up a little bit. So now we're going to make the flower petals, okay? We've got all the middle done and we've got all the posts done that we need to work into. So now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Then we're going to double crochet again right into the same spot. Okay, then we're going to chain 1, then we're going to do a treble crochet, then you're going to chain 1 and do 2 double crochets, all in the same space, and then finally you're going to slip stitch. So we're going to do this over again, but that's what your petals look like. Okay, now we're making the petals. So then we're going to slip stitch into our next available, the top of the post of the last double crochet. We're going to slip stitch into there, and then we're going to work into the next of this top one. So we're going to slip stitch into the next one. Then we're going to chain 3 again, 1, 2, and 3. Then we're going to put a double crochet, and that really counts as 2 double crochets, okay? Then you're going to chain 1, then you're going to do a treble, then you're going to chain 1, and then you're going to put 2 more double crochets. Okay, and then don't forget to put the slip stitch in there. Then we go to our next available spot and do a slip stitch, and then go into the next one and do a slip stitch. And then in this next one is where we're going to work our next petal. So we're going to chain 3. That counts as our first double crochet. Then we're going to put a double crochet. Then we're going to chain 1, then we're going to do a treble, then we're going to chain 1, then we're going to put 2 double crochets, and then finally don't forget to put in your slip stitch. Then again, I'm going to show you again, you're going to go into the top of your next available stitch there, do a slip stitch, go into the next and do a slip stitch, then chain 3, right where you did that slip stitch, then do another double crochet, because we're counting that first as a double crochet, then chain 1, then do a treble stitch, then chain 1, then do a double crochet, another double crochet, and then slip stitch right back into the same spot. Just like that. And that's what it's looking like so far. We're making all the petals. So we're going to slip stitch into the next, slip stitch into the next, and then chain 3. 1, 2, and 3, right where we just slip stitched. Then do another double crochet, chain 1, a treble crochet, chain 1, then a double crochet, another double crochet, and then a slip stitch. Okay, and that's what it looks like so far. And you're just going to keep going around. I think I have enough yarn left to do maybe 1 or 2 more, which let's just see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to slip stitch right here. I'm going to slip stitch into the next. I'm going to chain 3, do a double crochet. That counts as 2. Chain 1, work a treble, chain 1, and then do 2 double crochets. And then don't forget to put a slip stitch. Okay, just like that. Isn't that pretty? So let's see, I don't think I have enough yarn to do one more, but I'm going to try. Let's see what happens. So I'm slip stitching 2. This is my last petal. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 petals. So let's chain 3, just like we've been doing. That counts as our first double crochet. Then we do a double crochet, chain 1, treble, chain 1. Look at this. And then you would do 2 double crochets right there to finish it off. And then you would slip stitch into the next 2, okay? And that's how you would end it. Now when you finish this, you're going to see a little bit of a gap. Well, normally there would be more stitches there, but I ran out of yarn. But there is going to be a tiny bit of a gap right here, and that's okay. I want that to be there. But like I said, it won't be this big because you'll be able to finish that up. But a little bit of a gap will be there, and that's fine because that's where you're going to put your leaves at. So let me just show you real quick how to do the leaves for the flower that you see, the flower border that you see in the pictures. Also, what you're going to do for, well, I'll show you that in a minute for the border to attach the flowers to. Okay, so what you're going to do for the leaf is you're going to do a slip knot, and then you're going to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, then you're going to single crochet into the second chain from the hook. Then you're going to half double crochet in the next, half double crochet in the next, then you're going to do a double crochet, then you're going to do another double crochet. At this point, you're going to have 3 available stitches left, and I want you to do a treble crochet in each one of those. So 1, 2, and 3. Just like that, okay? Then I want you to turn your work So I want you to turn your work this way, okay? And you're going to do 2 slip stitches right along the side of this treble you just did to get us over to the other side, okay? Just like that. Then I want you to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, okay? And then you're going to put a treble. We're going to mirror the other side. So you're going to put a treble right in here, right into the same stitch right there. And then you're going to put a treble into the next. Okay. Then you're going to put a double crochet. And the next a double crochet. And the next a half double crochet. And the next a half double crochet. And in the next a single crochet. That brings you right up here to the top. And then when you get up to the top, I want you to go right into this first stitch right here and do a slip stitch, okay? And that's how you make your leaf. So then you would cut off right up here and tie in your, make sure you leave enough to work in and to sew on to your flower, okay? So I'm going to leave quite a bit on. I'm just going to go like this. So make sure that you leave enough on this end to sew in, really, rather than this one. But you could, if you forgot, you could just work this in the back and work it down to the end and use it that way, okay? But then what you would do is you would make 2 of these leaves, and then you would place one here, and then you would place one over here, and then you would have 2 leaves on the side of your flower. Now, of course, like I said, this gap won't be that big because you'll have finished those stitches right there. So let's just get an idea from the other side where it looks better. You would basically have a little bit of a gap like that, which I left on purpose for the pattern. And you would put 1 leaf here and then put 1 leaf over here. And then it just makes a really pretty springtime flower. The colors, they go along with Easter. Okay, so that's what it looks like right there. Just like that, but with another leaf. Okay, so I hope all that made sense. And I'm just going to show you real quick, since I've kind of run out of this yarn here, which was my goal, because I made those for those hearts, heart pillows. So to make the border, which is what you're going to actually put your flowers on to hang them up, otherwise you could use it as an applique or whatever you want to do, but I made, oh goodness, I think I did like 5 or 6 on my border that goes across the my fireplace. And I kind of changed that up with every holiday. So before, for Valentine's Day, I had hearts, and now I have flowers for spring and Easter. So you're going to have to chain however many that you need to go across whatever you want to go across. If you have a fireplace as well, or if you have, I don't know, a table, a piano, a desk, I don't know, something in your house, a hutch. You could even make this as a runner and lay it flat for the middle of your dining room table, okay? But at any rate, you would want to measure and see how many you would need to single crochet across for this. And then all I did is I did as many as I needed, and then I just did, I skipped this first chain here, so I went to the second chain from the hook, and then I just did a double crochet all the way down with the bulky yarn, and that made a really thick, good border to sew my flowers onto. Okay, so let's say you would keep going down, and this is how thick your border would be. And you could do a single crochet if you needed to save some space or whatever. Okay, so that's what it would look like. And then you would just take your flower and you would just simply sew it to right there and then space them out, and then you would have a beautiful flower border. Okay, so that's all there is for that. Just wanted to get on and show you that today. Also, I wanted to show you what we're going to be working on next as soon as I'm feeling better. Hopefully this coming up week, so just give me a couple days and I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you how to do this gorgeous feather stitch. Oh my gosh, by the way, this is not my pattern, but I am in love. It is just beautiful, and it's called the feather stitch, and you can use this to make afghans, placemats, anything. But what I'm going to show you how to make with this feather stitch, first I'm going to make a video on just how to do the feather stitch, okay, because that within itself is just a good video to show you how to do that. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful Easter mat, okay. It's just a placemat. I have made 3 of these, and these are going to go on my living room table, and they will match the flower border that I have hanging on my flower place, because I use the same puffy material to make the flowers on the placemat. So what I'm going to do is you're going to see my 2 next videos. My first one is going to show you how to make this beautiful feather stitch, because this is the stitch I use to make this this placemat. Okay, and so if you want to use what I used just green maystays, yellow red heart. I got this this grass type crochet material. I got it at Walmart on the aisle where it's the yarn aisle, but it's where that they keep the thread, and they had some over there. I think I got this at Christmas time though, so I hope you can find it. But any kind of yarn that you find that has any texture, it doesn't have to be just like this. It can be any kind of textured yarn, but this is what's great for kids, like young kids, because when they sit down at the table, they can feel the grass, they can play with the puffy flowers, and they're soft, and they can, play with the butterfly a little bit. So it's a little bit interactive placemat for kids. And then I just used white red heart, the puffy stuff, of course, that you just saw. And then I made some eggs, which is some white and some pink. And this is like a turquoise color. It's kind of hard to see on here. It's actually quite a bit lighter than it's picking up on camera. And this butterfly is actually just a heart. Remember I told you guys that I was going to try to make a butterfly out of a heart, and that's what I did. So so what I'll do again is first I will come in and I'll show you how to do this feather stitch, and then you can do whatever you want with it. You don't have to make this placemat with that, of course, but I'm going to show you how to do that, and then we're going to go in and I'm going to show you how to put this all together, how to make the little eggs, how to make the rabbit, how to make the flowers, and how to make the butterfly. And then I'll show you how to put it on together. This is all really simple, really easy stuff to do. Won't be a long video. So the first thing I'll do is do this, and then we'll go on and do this. And then my next video will be using the same feather stitch to make a great Easter pillow. Okay, so I'm excited about the things that are coming up, but I do hope I'll be feeling better soon, because the sickness has hit the house again. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm hoping that you're having a wonderful Sunday, and I'm hoping I get my nails fixed soon because it's awful. And happy crocheting, guys. Thanks. Bye-bye.